गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःशुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ अष्टादशोऽध्यायः मोक्षसंन्यासयोगः. See, in the last week we saw verse 57. There Krishna tells Arjuna, keeping me as the supreme goal and mentally dedicating all actions to me by resorting to karma yoga and remain with your mind fixed on me all the time. Sarva karmani mayi sanyasya matpara, that is keeping me as the goal. Now we will proceed to next verse 58. Macchitta sarva durghani matprasādat tarishyasi ajacetvam ahankaran nasroshyasi vinakshyasi. Macchitta sarva durghani matprasādat tarishyasi ajacetvam ahankaran nasroshyasi vinakshyasi. He says, with your mind fixed on me, you shall cross over all obstacles by my grace. But if you do not listen to me due to ego, you will perish. So he says, Macchitta, keeping me in your mind. Matprasadat, that is anugraha. By my anugraha, with the help of my grace, that is Ishvara anugraha, sarva durghani parishyasi. Here the word durga means obstacles. See, the mind, it is not under my control. That is called adhyatmika obstacle or surrounding obstacles. Trivida durgani tarishyasi. You will cross over the three types of obstacles we have seen. Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika and Adi Daivika. All these you will cross over. Atha na sroshyasi chet. On the other hand, if you do not listen to my sincere advice because of your ego, ahankara, na sroyasi chet. If you refuse to listen to me, vinakshyasi, you will perish. Here the word perish does not mean physical death. Here the word perish means spiritual destruction. You will not get the benefit of being born as a human being. That is, benefit of born as a human being is moksha prapti. That unique benefit you will lose. That is, if you don't listen to me. Then the next verse. Yadahankaramāsritya na yotsya iti manyase mityaisha vyavasayaste prakrtisvam niyoshyati. Yadahankaramāsritya na yotsya iti manyate mityaisha vyavasayaste prakrtisvam niyoshyati. So sticking to egoism, if you think, I won't fight, such a resolve of yours will be in vain. Your nature will compel you to act. Yadi ahankaram ashritya, if you hold on to your ahankara, and na yosya iti manyase, if you refuse to fight out of sheer adamancy, if you refuse to listen to me, mityasya vyavasayaste, this resolve of yours, mithya, will be in vain. That is, it will not work for you. Your withdrawal from activity will not work for you. Yasa vyavasyaya mithya. It will not work. And why it will not work? Your rajasic nature will not allow you to remain quiet. Here, Prakriti means Swabhava, and Swabhava means Rajasic nature. Therefore, here the rule is go by your nature. We'll go to the next verse. Svabhavajena kaunteya nibattasvena karmana kartum nechasi yat mohat karishyasva sasopitat. Svabhavajena kaunteya nibattasvena karmana kartum nechasi yat mohat karishyasva sasopitat. Arjuna, bound by your own duty, which is born out of your nature, you will helplessly do that which you do not want to do because of your delusion. Svena karmana nibaddha. Everyone is bound by his own type of karma. A particular type of karma or activity, everyone is bound. And this karma is determined by Swabhavaja. It is determined by the Swabhava. And this Swabhava will not go away even after jnana. Even jnanis they have got their own Swabhava. Of course, they have gained the knowledge. What the knowledge means? I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the Atma, which is Nirguna. But even though they know I am Nirguna Atma, they possess a body-mind complex, which has got a particular Swabhava. And this Swabhava will decide what the Jnani does after Jnana. So what makes one Jnani active? that is active jnani, and other jnani as passive jnani. Even that is decided by swabhava. And therefore Krishna says here, you are bound to activities by swabhava and kartum nechasi. And if you don't do that action which is governed by swabhava, mohat, because of your delusion, you are trying to avoid what cannot be avoided. And what is that you cannot avoid? Your swabhava. And swabhava based lifestyle you cannot avoid. And if you try to escape from that, it is because of moha, it is delusion, and will not succeed. That is, you will not succeed in that. Wherever you go, swabhava will push you into that activity. Krishna says, karishyati. You will not take to that action which you tried to avoid. You will take to that action. Helplessly, avasapi. Here, Krishna emphasizes swabhava or guna based choice of profession. Why guna means your aptitude or your inclination. Therefore, Arjuna, your profession has to be Kshatriya profession. And if you try to escape from that, you will not be able to do that. Avasa avi tat karishyasi. You will fight helplessly. So then we will go to the next one, 61. Ishvara sarva bhutana hridde serjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. Ishvara sarva bhutana hridde serjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. Arjuna, the Lord resides in the heart of all beings, resolving all beings. That is, being in the heart of all being, revolving all the beings through Maya, as though they are mounted on a machine. Krishna gives in these two verses how to convert karma into karma yoga. That is, that method is converting that karma into an offering unto the Lord. The very profession or activity should become a type of flower, and your performance should become an offering to the Lord. And if you convert it into an offering, two things must happen. The first thing is, you should not do it with curse, because it is going to the Lord, and therefore it should be done sincerely and wholeheartedly. Not only that, it should be done cheerfully also. So, an indication of Karma Yogi is cheerfulness and sincerity. Lord Krishna says that the residence of the Lord is your own heart, Hrideshe, which is otherwise called the mind. Lord there in the form of Sakshi Chaitanyam. Krishna says, Arjuna, some phone call, okay. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshe Tishtati. Therefore, to practice Karma Yoga and offer to the Lord, we don't require idols and pictures or shrines or even temples. Hrideshe, Hridaya Deshe, that means Krishna says Hridayam because according to the scriptures, Hridaya is the place of the mind. The location of the mind, according to Shastra, is not the brain, it is the heart. Sarva Bhutanam Hrideshe, whether one is a saint or a sinner, a criminal or a scholar, in everybody's heart, the Lord is there. The only difference, in the case of the saint, he has purified the mind, and therefore Lord's presence manifests more. Whereas in the case of people whose minds are full of impurities, Lord is not absent, but Lord's presence is not manifest. So, Arjuna, Hrideshe, in Anthakarani, in what form he is there? Sakshi Chaitanya Rupena, in the form of witness consciousness. Witness of what? The witness of presence of thoughts as well as absence of thoughts. Every thought is known by me, and even the absence of thought is known by me. It is known because of awareness. That awareing consciousness is Ishvara Tishtati. So, in the heart, earlier we saw, Lord resides means in the form of awareing consciousness. So, what does the Lord do? He says, Sarva Bhutani Brahmayan. Brahmayan means revolving, but here it means enlivening all the living beings remaining in the heart. That is, he remains in the heart. By enlivening means the Lord lends consciousness, because the physical body by itself is inert. It does not have a life of its own. The mind also does not have consciousness of its own. The sense organs are also made up of subtle matters. And all these are now alive and sentient because of this borrowed consciousness. Krishna says here, the one who lends consciousness is called Atma. Therefore, Brahmayan means enlivening, energizing, activating all the Bhutani. Here Bhutani means Sthula, Sukshma Sarira, which are Jada by themselves. Activating all the Bhutani. And how does the Lord activate? An example is given. Yantra Rodani Mayaya. Like the dolls which are activated by a machine inside or battery. And how does Bhagavan does all these things? Mayaya. Because of Maya Shakti. It's an inscrutable power. Bhagavan is not only able to create all the world and the bodies, but he is able to enliven also because of his Maya Shakti. Again, see here Maya, we can say three gunas. When we say Brahma, Brahman, the other, which is a static part, and Maya, it is the active part, dynamic. Similarly, Purusha and Prakriti. We can also say Shiva and Shakti. So it has these two parts. So because of this Maya Shakti, it is able to enliven, able to activate. Then go to 62. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim tanam prapyashi shashvatam. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim tanam prapyashi shashvatam. Arjuna, surrender to him alone, wholeheartedly. By his grace, you shall attain peace and the eternal abode. Tameva sharanam gaccha. May you take refuge in that Lord by offering all karmas to him. Tameva. That Lord, the Lord described in the previous sloka, that is the heart resident Lord who stays in the heart, offer to that Lord. That means consciousness. Tameva sharanam gaccha. And what type of surrender it should be? Again, some phone call. And what type of surrender it should be? Sarva bhavena, wholeheartedly, sincerely, with Shraddha and Bhakti. We should offer. Whether the karma will give you material benefit or not, if you offer the karma to the Lord, spiritual growth is definite. Tat prasadat, by His grace, once you hand over the responsibility to the Lord, Lord will take you step by step. Tat prasada, He will reach the destination. What type of destination? Shashvadam sthanam prapyasi. The permanent or infinite goal of moksha. The destination of moksha. The eternal you will attain. Krishna says, the indication of moksha is param shantihi. The spiritual progress is indicated by abiding. That is, how does it indicate? Abiding relaxation, abiding peace, abiding poise, equanimity. These are the indication of moksha. Therefore, Krishna says, param shanti prapyasi. By going through all the necessary steps. See, these are all required. Even when we, that is Chitta Suddhi, Guru Prapti, then Shravana Prapti, that is listening. And then it should lead to Jnana Prapti, which will lead to Moksha Prapti. These are the various steps that one will go through with Krishna. See, with this, that is 62nd, no? This verse, Krishna concludes the Karma Yoga summary. It started with verse 56. We'll see 63 also. Iti te jnanamakhyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrusyata tatshena tathekshena yatechasi tata kuru. Iti te jnanamakhyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrusyata tatshena yatechasi tata kuru. This knowledge, more secret than every other secret, has been imparted to you by me, Krishna says. Having analyzed this completely, do as you like. Yata yachasi. So Krishna actually wants to formally conclude the Gita teaching in the 4 verses 63 to 66. He has already repeated Karma Yoga 3 times. It started in 18th chapter with Karma Yoga, but with a new name. In the 18th chapter, Karma Yoga was presented with a new name, that is Sattvika Sannyasa. And therefore, he summarized Karma Yoga a second time, that is from 41 to 49, and then again third time, he summarized from 56 to 62. 3 times he has given Karma Yoga summary. Then Jnana Yoga also he summarized twice. From verse 13 to 17 he summarized first time, and then 50 to 55 again summarized again. Jnanam te ajñātam. I have given you the Gita teaching. So very valuable, important Gita teaching I have imparted to you, which started from 2nd chapter, 11th verse onwards. Iti means, it is coming in this verse, iti means from this 2nd chapter, 11th verse. That is, what is that verse? Asocyananya chochatvam. It started from there. Then up to the previous verse, that is 18th chapter, 62nd verse. I have elaborately taught you the Gita Shastra, which is a Sara of the Vedas. This is the rarest teaching. Guhyataram jnana. Guhyataram means greatest secret. Guhyat guhyatamam, rare teaching I have given to you. Etat asheshena vimrusye. Whatever I have taught you, vimrusye, you analyze and you find out where you stand in spiritual ladder. Because of the decision will depend upon the level of the spiritual level of a person. Etat vimrusya. Understand this very well by analyzing. And therefore, etchehasi, whatever you decide, at the appropriate course of action according to your need. Yadechasi tata kuru. Therefore, whatever you decide, you do that. I am not going to comment it. That's what Krishna says. Then 64. Sarvagukshyatamam bhuyah shrunme paramam vachah ishtosi me dridamiti ato vakshyami te hitam. Sarvagukshyatamam bhuyah shrunme paramam vachah ishtosi me dridamiti ato vakshyami te hitam. Listen again to my supreme word, the most secret of all. Since you are very dear to me, hence I shall tell you what is good for you. Gushyatamam bhuya shrunu, the greatest secret of this teaching. Paramam vachaha, my supreme words. My greatest words, and they are the rarest one. Me shrunu, listen to me, hear from me. I am repeating because ishtoshi, because of my compassion towards you. And also you have taken refuge in me. Therefore, I am telling you what is good for you. And what is that? So, he is going to summarize once again the entire Gita. So, we will take up the next two verses in the probably next week because they are elaborate. Even the 65 will take quite some time. A lot of discussions will be there and also explanation. So now it's only 35 now. But I don't know whether I will be able to complete the next one. Anyway, we can, if necessary, we can stop in between. So 65. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyashi satyam te pradijane priyosi me. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyashi satyam te pradijane priyosi me. Fix the mind on me. Be my devotee. Be my worshipper. Surrender to me. You shall reach me alone. Truly, I do promise to you, you are dear to me. These two verses are the final summary of Gita. These are considered to be one of the important slokas. Both 65 and 66 are very important. 65th verse summarizes Karma Yoga. And 66th verse, next verse, summarizes Jnana Yoga. That means 2 verses contain the entire Gita. Shankaracharya tells in Bhagavat, every one of you should study the Gita. So prayer and Gita study is the beginning of religious life. And if a person begins with this, sooner or later, he will find a big transformation in life. Because of the study of scriptures, one begins to know more and more about oneself, more about the world, and more about God. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara are understood more clearly, and which brings about a total transformation in our perspective or outlook. And not only there is a transformation in the outlook, there is a transformation with regard to our perspective of life and its goal. Otherwise, earlier, the Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara, whatever idea we had, they see all these three are Mithya that we have studied, So, the clarity will be there in understanding these three. So, if a person continues in the religious life, sooner or later, he discovers God. It is not my companion in my life. The scriptures point out that God is the ultimate goal of life also. So the thinking or rating of God as human goal, it increases. And after several months or years or even decades, God reaches the top of the list. So instead of being one of the goals of life, God becomes the top primary goal. See, initially, when we started religious life, the activity, that is spiritual activity, will be 15th or 16th place in our list. All other things we give priority. Slowly, when we understand the spiritual truths, the spiritual study reaches the first place in our list. That's what he says here. Top of the list it comes to. Then other items will be below. Then afterwards, after some practice or understanding, there will not be anything below that, what you call God or consciousness in that list. And once a person has reached this stage, wherein there is only one goal in life, and which is moksha. Karma Yoga has done its job. Now he is ready for the next level of sadhana called Jnana Yoga. So the first level is presented in this sloka, Manmana Bhava. And this verse is almost the repetition of the verse, I think last verse in 9th chapter. Manmana Bhava. That is, keep me in your mind. Manmana Bhava. Let your life be God-centered life. May you not forget the role of God. Madbhakta Bhava. May you become my devotee. May you develop a devotion towards me. Initially, as a companion, you like me, love me. Later, as one of the goals of life, you should like me. Later, as the topmost goal of life, again, you should love me, like me. Then finally, the only goal of life also becomes, and this becomes, and again, you must love me. Thus, you nourish your love and devotion towards me. Madbhakta bhava and madhyaji bhava. May you worship me. The first religious discipline. Allot some time, however busy you are, preferably in the morning. Therefore, madhyaji bhava. May you worship me. And initially, you allot exclusive time for worship. And later, you convert your regular life into a form of worship. Yat yat karma karomi, tat tat akhilam sambho tvad aradhana. We saw in Atmatvam in the Girijamati, in that this comes. Whatever we do, it is your aradhana, O Shambho. So there, it was excellent. Once it is understood, wherever you go, it is a projection of him. And whatever you talk, it's a sort of puja to him. So, two types of worship. One is exclusive worship, which is direct worship, and the second is indirect worship. And what is indirect worship? Converting your life into a form of worship. That is very important. And both are important. Both direct and indirect worship should be there. Madhyaji bhava. Mam namaskuru. And may you surrender to me. May you take refuge in me for facing the challenges of life, for facing the crisis of life, and also failures of life, losses of life. Every moment of life is a challenge. And if you follow this, Mamyeva Yashyasi, you will reach the goal of life, which is myself, means moksha. Not directly, but coming through Jnana Yoga, which is the next stage of life. So through Jnana Yoga, you will reach me. Satyam. This is 100% guarantee. I am giving you a guarantee card. That's what almost Krishna says. Say Pratijani, I am promising to change. You see the transformation in yourself. Pratijani, Krishna is promising. You see the change in your life. Priyasime, you are dear to me. So this is a first stage called Karma Yoga. See, this entire thing, especially even it is called Karma Yoga because the actions are involved completely in every stage. So, mental and physical and all these things. So it comes under Karma Yoga. When Karma Yoga comes, see, it is a sort of practice. See, Karma Yoga involves Yogastat Kuru Karmani Sangam Taktva Dhananjaya Siddhya Siddhyo Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. See, people who are doing continuously all sorts of actions, karma, morning to evening, we can't call it, he is a karmi. See, Karma Yogi is different. Karma Yogi, what happened? Whatever be the result, he is able to see that equanimity, whether it is success or failure, it's both are considered equal. That is the Karma Yoga. See, we say by Karma Yoga, the mind is purified. Chitta Suddhi means what? When it is totally purified, mind itself becomes consciousness, pure consciousness. That is, that's why it is said, Aham Brahmasmi means that Aham, that mind, totally pure mind, is nothing but that which is the pure consciousness, which we can call it Atma or Brahman. So this is the exercise for that. When we do whatever is comes to us, when we do it, and whether it is a success or failure, first is that only. We must clearly see whether it is success or failure, both comes in what? That is in the consciousness. If it goes up, we say it is success. If it comes down, we say it is failure. But both are made of what? Pure consciousness. Both are that only. So this clarity, they are not. See, even though for the result, we may have some that is effect in the surroundings and other things. Whatever it is, both are from consciousness only. There is no difference. So the mind which practices this Karma Yoga, all the likes and dislikes, they are slowly, they vanish one by one. In fact, that is, then it becomes pure. That mind becomes pure. That is the idea of Karma Yoga. So when it becomes pure, we will see in the next verse, when it becomes pure, it is nothing but that pure consciousness, Brahman. So then it becomes very clear, no further this thing is required. When it becomes pure, it is that we call it moksha or that self-realization, everything. It all happens. We clearly understand what is what. That is, realization means what? Everything is that only, consciousness. There is nothing other than consciousness. Because everything comes out of consciousness. We have seen many times. Whatever, for example, seeing is easy to explain. Then only comes the hearing, touching and all those things. When we see something, what happens? The image which forms in the mind, that is the consciousness understands that we call as seeing or cognizing. So the image in the mind is understood. It's not I. When it falls in the I, that is not the final seeing. Because in the sleep, when the mind is absent, if somebody talks, even slowly, he can't hear. Similarly, if somebody opens the eyes slowly, we won't see anything because mind is absent. Finally, it all happens in the mind. Even our body, if you see like this, it is also the image of the mind, image of this body forms in the mind and it is recognized. So everything is in the mind only. Mind means consciousness. So consciousness alone is there. So everything what we see, so many people, days, building, trees, everything is consciousness only. Everything. So this understanding. So there is nothing other than, you can call it God or consciousness or Brahman. Everything is that only. There is nothing other than that. So this understanding, clarity, once it is there, the doership and enjoyership automatically drops. Automatically, it won't be there at all. Because everything just like that, it is happening. We can take the dream example. Whatever happens in the dream, whether it is good or bad or some nonsense, once you come out, that is when you become a baker, you don't question that at all. You know that clearly. Everything just happened in the dreamer, that is in the mind. So you don't take it seriously. Same thing. Once we understand the self, that everything is in the mind, it's all happening as in dream. The dream is by individual. So it is not universal. Whereas this dream, we call it now dream of Brahman or Vishnu, whatever name you give, world appears. When it stops, that means when Vishnu gets up, everything vanishes. Got the dream. But it happens maybe in 4 yugas or something like that. So this is the sort of thing. So everything is that only. So it is very, very clear. So once this becomes clear, so nothing affects us. We clearly see. So that is what is explained in these 2 verses. So once these 2 are understood very clearly. So Manmana Bhattva means what? We hear that me is consciousness only. Everything is that only. So always be aware of that. Even in our, what is that? Gayatri Japa. What do we do? What do you say daily? That is Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Dhimahi means see that. Everything is that. Try to see that. We call it light, but whatever it is, that consciousness. It is, last time we saw, light can reveal everything but darkness, whereas this can reveal even darkness. This means what? It is not we call it light, but it is consciousness. It is that sentience, what we call as light. Because it's much, more, what do you call, powerful than light, we call it, it is equivalent to 1,000 suns and all. It is not light we are talking about, it's power, understanding, clarity, that the sentience is, we call as Brahman, or that alone exists in various forms. So that is what we understand in these 2 verses. And that's why you surrender to me means understand that and be there. And you are there only. That is a clear understanding. There is no effort. Once it is understood, there is no further effort. If there is effort, it is not understood completely. That is the meaning. So all the time it is like that. There is, whether it is knowledge or ignorance, both are that only. There is no difference at all. So, in Upadesaram there is a verse. Arivu ariyamayum atra arive arivagum enbadu undipara. It is neither arive nor that is ignorance. Neither it is knowledge nor ignorance. That is the ultimate jnana. Arivariyamaim atra arive arivagum endru undipara. Arivadatku undrillai. There is nothing to know. Everything is I only. That is the ultimate truth, which is talked about in these 2 verses. So that's why it says, surrender to me means what? There is no thinking other than, there is no thinking involved. It's not required at all. So there is, we feel that we must get moksha, redemption. That is, we want liberation. We are not bound at all. Once it is understood, the question of liberation is not there at all. So it's the slogan I forgot. There is one more slogan. So actually I don't have ignorance, so I don't require any liberation. That is the final thing which we clearly understand in these two verses. And this is really the sara of entire Gita. That means entire, you can say, all Upanishads. These two verses, very important. One can really contemplate on this for quite until we understand. So it's these two are very important, and in fact beyond that it's all winding slokas to sum up, or not even sum up. It is just winding verses. We will see in the next class further.
Natarajan, we have left only one sloka left actually, 66.
Yeah.
And then, as you rightly said, the rest of the slokas are further, that Arjuna says, my delusion has been gone.
Yeah.
And I will fight a dozen wars, Mahabharata wars. So, that is the Moksha Shastra.
Correct.
So, I suggest after your next class,
Yeah.
we will have 2 sessions, open sessions.
Wonderful.
Let people know, see the entire 18 chapters we have done. Let each one come and give what they have understood from the Gita teaching, Bhagavad Gita.
That is wonderful. Wonderful.
So, we are giving advance notice for them to prepare, right from chapter number 1 to chapter 18.
Oh, I see. Chapter 1 to 18 is it?
1 to 18. So, one we will have a summary of chapter 18, and the one class will be for the entire 18 chapters.
Yeah, okay.
The idea is that we should get benefit of the teaching.
Exactly.
We have been listening, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja Agam Kvam Supabhabhyabhyo Mokshishyami Vasucha. Namkellam puriyarudhu. Ana at the critical moment it is not staying with us. We don't get the nishtha.
Yeah, nishtha.
Nishtha. So
Yeah.
I request you to agree that we will have 2 sessions after the next session. One for the chapter 18 summary, and the other is what each individual has learned from the Gita teaching.
Excellent.
Because we started this Bhagavad Gita study from 4.5 years back. And so now we will be concluding this. So let us all pray that everybody gets moksha, liberation from this samsara. Samsara is nothing but ajnana.
Yeah.
And that is what he is going to talk in the 66th sloka.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So I thought I should, so that people understand, people who are not attending also, you should make a certain announcement that this is going to be the course of conclusion, and be prepared for all these things.
Sure.
Are you?
Jai.
In fact, please can you clear me? Can you tell me what is the difference or differences between Karma Yoga, Sannyasa Yoga and Jnana Yoga? This is one. Why people are all going for Sannyasa Yoga? When Krishna says that in the Karma Yoga is born okay. I want to know whether these sannyasis, of course the present day or the previous years sannyasis, they are really exposed to the scriptures like Veda, Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita.
See, it is it's a long, the question, the sannyasa pati, there are lot of things. In fact, there are 3 or 4 varieties of sannyasa. Some people take sannyasa to understand. So that full time. See, the advantage of taking sannyasa means you are not that orange color robe and all those things. The advantage is nobody will disturb you. Oh, this fellow is not, when they go, they don't offer unnecessary things and all. So he is free to practice. So that is one method. Another one, after knowing everything, Also, it's a long this one to explain everything. So that is sannyasa. And the difference between jnana yoga and karma yoga, that is, in fact, that is the main this one. I don't know how you are asking this question. Karma yoga is karma yoga. It is for purification of the mind. You just know visa. That is the purpose of karma yoga. And jnana yoga is after purification only jnana yoga is possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. Without karma yoga, you can't go to jnana yoga. Similarly, after finishing jnana yoga, if you don't take karma yoga, it is incomplete. So that it is a lot of difference. Purpose also is different.
Okay, conclude, please.
Yeah. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om